A lawmaker in Chicago just introduced a bill that would require law-abiding citizens to turn over their social media accounts. That means your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, your YouTube, you name it, all your social media, turn these over to the government if you want to buy a gun. And Democrats, they want to sneak this past us while we're not looking, under the guise of telling us that the Parkland school shooter posted clues on his social media that he was deranged and prone to violence. Yeah, and the people that called the FBI, they told the FBI the shooter was planning a shooting, and the FBI did nothing. And the sheriff did nothing, and the school did nothing. The government having my social media is not the answer to that problem. The mainstream media won't tell you about this story, so we will. You should reach out to the Chicago lawmaker and tell him our Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms is a constitutional right. He has no authority to tell us that we cannot exercise our inherent rights unless we say things that he deems politically correct on our social media accounts. You ask the Chicago lawmaker, where does this end? First our social media, then what? Private emails? Private phone calls? Text messages? What's the standard here? What are the government bureaucrats looking for in your social media activity? If you post a picture of a gun? If you wear a MAGA hat, maybe? Remember, the IRS denied and delayed tax-exempt status to Tea Party groups based on the fact that these groups had liberty and constitution in the description of their organizations. It's not out of bounds then to think, well, if Democrats want to ban AR-15s and we post a picture at the gun range with our legally owned AR-15, is that violent imagery to the radical left? Will they punish us for it? And that's not to mention the privacy violations here. Even the ACLU is crying foul, asking, how long will people's social media information be kept by the government? What's it used for aside from the gun license? So my question, and I think I speak for all law-abiding gun owners here, if I don't, send me an email and explain yourself. How will my political beliefs impact government's decision on whether I'm allowed to exercise my constitutional right to keep and bear arms? How will my religious views impact the same thing? And how can you prove to me that my political and religious views are not impacting your decision? See, we saw something similar try and fail in New York State. A lawmaker in New York introduced a bill that would force citizens to turn over their social media to the government if they wanted to buy a gun, so the government could look for so-called hate speech. This lawmaker wanted 3 years of social media posts before you're even allowed to own a firearm, let alone conceal carry. But what is hate speech? Who defines it? What if an atheist says my Catholic beliefs are hateful to their beliefs? Can I not exercise my right to bear arms then? Democrats right now tell me it's hateful when I say there are only two genders, male and female. Twitter says they'll kick me off Twitter for hate speech if I say a man is a man and can't be a woman, and a woman is a woman and can't be a man. This bill in Chicago is a threat not only to our Second Amendment rights, but to the idea that government does not give us our rights. Government protects our rights, and those rights are ours. Make sure your elected representatives know this. And that is my final point.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.